We are back for a third straight day. This time we are talking Black entertainment news and more. And what is on my hot list today, ladies and gentlemen? The streaming companies are never going to learn their lesson. Comcast is trying to do a bundle that they swear is going to save us money on the front end. But for me, y'all know I'm a back shop man. I worry about the back end. We'll discuss that. I have confirmation that Amari Hardwick, Mr. Ghost himself on Power, is coming back. We'll break down my sources and see if this is really going to happen. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, I enjoy talking about things that can help people cross their life. My whole brand is called Life Games. So we'll discuss what is consent when it comes to making love. All that and so much more takes place on the Black Entertainment News and More show with Lamont Tyson. We start right now.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
All right, y'all. You in the building with y'all knowing, I loving, all feeling, all seeing, all powerful. Take a hard chest to make that kind of noise. Just damn all everything sexy as hell host in this building. It is me, Lamont Tyson, and I have a rocking panel joining me today to break down these topics we're going to discuss. Coming to the stage first and foremost, y'all remember him when we was the Larry and Lamont show. It's the living legend. It's that living legend, Larry. What's going on, living legend?
Oh, man, it's all good, man. How are you feeling today?
Hey, man, my son's doing well. I'm happy. A lot of my behavior is based on my kids and my wife, and they all doing really, really well. So I'm good. I'm good.
You know, it's interesting. You have young kids, which is great. And last night, my mom and my brother and I, we were having this conversation about AI and education and how it's going to affect these young kids, because there's so much that AI can do for you that right now teachers and academia is trying to like create all these tools so that you can tell if kids are using AI. And I feel like they're just going to have to figure out how to teach with AI, because there's no getting around the people using it. It's just going to become so integrated in all of our lives, especially these young kids. They're going to grow up with it entirely.
Larry, we need, you know what, to Larry, if you can come back tomorrow, we're going to make that a full subject. I mean, we have to. We've got to make that a full subject. We're going to make that a full subject. So the other people joining we got two moochies today. Damn.
It's right. Oh, look at that. Double the pleasure. Double the fun.
double your hammer. Wait a minute. Here we go. I was going to say double your hammer. We got two moochies. No, we just got the one moochie. Ladies and gentlemen, Moochie's in the building, and Moochie stays on mute. And I want y'all to say Moochie mute Moochie really quick, because it's gonna twist your tongue the hell up. What's up, Moochie?
She's still on mute.
What's up? I'm up.
There we go.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got Moochie. We got Moochie in the building. We got the living legend. We might have one more person come through, so you're just going to have to stay tuned. Be sure to download that podcast. Be sure to check me out on the TikTok and go hit my showcase, get some of those deals. And these are the subjects we're covering today. Because of the dynamic, diverse entry I have with my panel, I pick stories specific to each individual person on this panel. They affect us all. Don't get me wrong, but each individual person has the things they do on their channel. Y'all know Moochie. She's our resident conspiracy theorist and TV movie reviewer. That's the hammer, okay? She breaks bonds and figure out the bottom. And then we have my main man, Larry, who is a tech phenomenon. And then we've got Monique Nicole, who is trying to break out into kind of relationship advice, that type of thing. So our stories today are going to cover Comcast is trying to do a bundle subscription service. I'm going to let Larry get that subject first. Then we've got Ghost Amari Hardwick is coming back to power. That's for Moochie. And last but not least, at what point in time when you might done found you a sweetie pie, or sweetie pie might done found you, or a damn cougar done went and stole herself a cub? At what point is the sex consensual? And I think that because that's such a ranging story, there's so many nuances to that. I felt like we need to discuss it because we've got young people that's starting to get into exploring. We've got college kids starting to mess around for the first time. And we don't want none of y'all to be hung up on no snag, okay? So if any of that stuff buttons your buttons, and I do mean button them, get ready, because here we go. So Larry, we're going to come with your story first. And I'm passionate about this story because you've seen my channel transform from politics, fitness, tech, to movie and TV show reviews. And now
don't forget
maybe
finance. Did you forget finance?
Well, I consider that separate because I got a whole channel for it, even though I don't do nothing with it. But yeah, finance too.
But that was a spinoff because you were doing finance on here.
Yeah.
It was doing well at that time and spun it off. So
yeah.
Your channel's been through a lot of iterations.
A lot, and I'm still hanging in there. One I would probably say one of the biggest growth iterations was the whole streaming growth. These apps that get you content for free.
The Fire Stick era.
Yeah, man. And how do we get there? Well, Larry, I feel like we're getting ready to go back there because these cable giants, these networks, they won't learn their lesson. I'm going to set you up like this, Larry. Take a look at the quick news clip, then I'm going to read you the article of what's going on.
Consumer news: Comcast is going to offer a bundle of 3 streaming services to customers. They're calling it Stream Saver, and it'll come with Netflix, Apple TV Plus, and Peacock. The CEO said today the bundle will launch later this month. He didn't say how much it would cost, but says it will be much cheaper than paying for all 3 separately.
So they say that in the beginning, Larry. Like I said when I started this video, I'm a back shot man. So they tell you they're going to save you on the front, but what's going to happen on the back end? Now, let me read you what I got the prices. So let me read you what they're saying. Here we go, y'all. Key details about this bundle. Price. The bundle is going to be available for $25 per month. Individually, these services would cost you around $31 per month if you bought them all separate. Okay. That's coming to us from Comcast, Texas. Availability. The Stream Saver bundle will be available starting in the coming weeks, specifically targeting Xfinity Internet customers. This aligned with Comcast's broader strategy to enhance value for its existing customer base by integrating popular streaming services into its offering. Content. Subscribers to the Stream Service bundle will have access to Peacock Premium, which brings you live sports, hit movies, NBC, Bravo, blah, blah, blah. Netflix, you know what you get with Netflix, then Apple TV. Larry, I feel like they're trying to send us back to the Cody days because that sounds good on the beginning. It sounds really, really good. But what have we seen with this streaming boom, Larry? They all started out cheap. They all started out trying to help us cut the cord because it was killing us. And now they are basically trying to bundle these services to be another damn cable network. How long before people run back to the Cody devices and things of that nature? Because there's no stopping that, Larry. As technology get better, there's really no stopping it. And then I'm going to let you run with this, Larry. Back in the day when we would do Cody content, there was so many hypocrites out there saying that we're teaching people how to piracy and all that. All right. They were saying that when them same mofos was password sharing. And over the last 3 years, these companies have made it clear that password sharing is wrong. But them same voices I was hearing, and these people know who I'm talking about, are still password sharing, but had the nerve to turn their nose up at the content we're showing them. So Larry, floor is yours. What do you think about this revolution they're trying to do in streaming TV?
Yeah, this is all a bunch of just BS. We knew this was going to happen. I mean, we saw the writing on the wall, and people were, as more and more streaming services came about, people just started to say, you know what, I'm sick of it. There's too much. Every time that I want to watch something, I have to go into a different streaming network. It's just, I mean, to be honest with you, when people have asked me like, what services should I get? I have told them at this point, you're better off just getting cable again, because you already have to pay for fast internet, because the last thing you want to do is try and stream 4K video and you have crappy internet. So you're going to have to pay for good internet, which is by itself is probably going to cost you close to $100. And most of these cable companies have some sort of bundle that'll get you the good internet and at least the basic cables for around the same price. But I'll tell you what I do. I have an American Express card in my pocket, and I have a Chase card in my pocket, and I have T-Mobile as my cellular carrier. T-Mobile gets me Netflix for free. It gets me Apple TV for free. It gets me there's I forgot. There's a couple other ones in there that I get for free. Now, with my American Express, you get a $20 a month or a $240 a year credit towards different streaming services. So some of the other ones that are not paid for, I put on my American Express card and they immediately credit it. Here's the other thing. If you have an American Express card, you can get Walmart Plus service for free, the Walmart Plus delivery service. But if you have the Walmart Plus service, you get Paramount Plus streaming service for free. And so that's another streaming service you can get away without paying for. And then if you have a Chase card, you can get Instacart Plus service for free. And if you have Instacart Plus, you get Peacock TV for free. So basically, I'll tell you, I know all this because just recently I was looking at all my subscriptions. I was paying like $70-something a month, and I was like, how in the hell did this happen? And so I started researching how can I get different streaming services free. And I basically just I made sure that I had all the ones that I can get available through my cell phone carrier for free. And then the other ones I have had associated with my various credit cards that get them for free. So now I don't pay for any of them. I have them all. They're all basically free to me, because the services that I have, like my credit cards, I'm going to have those credit cards anyways. And so I might as well use all the perks that come along with them. My cell phone service, I'm going to have anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and use the perks that come along with it. And if you guys have credit cards or cell services, look at them and see what they offer. I think there is, I think I do end up paying like $1 for like Hulu or something. I don't know. There's one of them I think I could do.
Yeah.
So
all right. Yeah.
So, but you're right. As far as going back to the old days of Cody and stuff, some people I think are heading back there already, but people still like the convenience of not having to sort of not having to
just
search,
like turn something on.
And that's one of the beautiful things when you look at some of the IPTV services and Kodi and the Apples, the Fire Sticks, all that. Some of those things, not only do they get everything for free, but they put everything in one place. That's so easy. And that's something that you don't even get with the legit services. Like you have, like today, I have like 10 different apps on my stupid Apple TV, and I have to go and try and say, which service is this on? And then I have an app on my phone, Just Watch, and I'm pulling up Just Watch so I can figure out what TV show is on which service. You don't really have to deal with that so much when you go the gray market route,
Right. Larry, let me get some more people in on this, but before we do, let me bring in Atlanta's own Coco Chocolate, Monique Nicole. Try to say Momo in the cup real fast.
I'm so sorry. I'm late, Lamont.
Oh, it's all good. Your story last. We saving your story for the very end anyway. But of course, you're going to be able to comment on this because we're talking about all these streaming services are just ruining people into the ground, and Comcast is attempting to band together to make it cheap, but we don't think that's going to last. Moochie, go ahead and jump on in. Let us know what you think about all this.
You're on mute.
Mute Moochie. How did you say it quick? You still on mute.
On the phone or
There
something.
there you go.
He called me. I'm sorry.
Okay, you good. Go ahead, Moochie. What you think?
I think it is going back to that because you gotta see how many streaming apps you have between it is some of it is more than 3 or more. 3 or more, but I still have my cable. So it's like I feel like I just, you know how you cut it down?
Yeah.
I was like, this doesn't make any sense to me. And then I cut the cord for a while too. But I have other stuff that I do, like I send out faxes and things like that. So it was better for me to keep the bundle.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with Larry. Larry's gonna have to write down that little his strategy so that I can share it and make it a post for everybody.
Because I didn't even know about the other thing you was talking about with Instacart and was it Hulu you said?
Well, Instacart will give you Peacock, and then Walmart Plus service will give you Paramount Plus. And then if you have T-Mobile, you can get Netflix and Apple TV, and I think there's a couple other ones on there.
Yeah, and T-Mobile got it where you can bundle and get their 5G internet that I have at my house for $40 a month. And the thing is the box is the size of my phone. You can take that anywhere you go, anywhere, and hook it up. As long as it's a tower nearby, you get 5G internet anywhere you go. T-Mobile. Wow. I'm using T-Mobile internet right now.
Right.
I gotta ask you about that because it seemed like I'll ask you about that after we done. But this is good. This is very informative.
Yeah. What you got, Momo?
I'm glad we're having this conversation. I actually just had a conversation similar to this the other day. I don't have cable. For the last 2 years, I've had YouTube TV, in which I pay roughly 60 or 65 a month. Now, for me, initially it made sense because to be honest, my parents have cable and sometimes their cable bills can run up to $200 nowadays. So with YouTube TV, I do get majority of the cable networks. Now, a little bit of finessing. Like I said, my parents do have cable. So when it comes to Starz, Showtime, HBO, I use their account. Streaming, I kind of have a lot. I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have Paramount, I have Apple TV, what else is there? I have so many. And so I am at a crossroads where I'm like, okay, is what I'm doing still making sense for my pockets, or do I need to reevaluate my situation? And Larry, I might actually hit you up offline or whatever. But I want to know more about the Fire Stick versus this versus that. I want to kind of get an idea to see if what I'm doing makes sense, because it does add up, y'all. Like all these streaming services, it adds up. And I have a lot. I got Peacock, I got so many. So it really depends. But I do listen, I'm all about team finesse, Larry. So thank you for I have American Express. I need to look into some of the benefits that they provide and just see what I can kind of finesse my way and with a couple things. But I don't know. Is it, is this still better than cable if your cable bill is almost $200?
But see, you gotta find it. I don't know who's your cable people in Atlanta.
My parents have Spectrum.
I'm assuming they got bundles because you can get basic cable. You can get a basic cable package for way under $200.
But however, they have the premium.
Right. They got all the premium. So they would, if they take Larry's strategy and maybe get like not Pluto TV, the other one I forgot. They could cut that bill in half and still get all that stuff. Here's what the streamers are doing that makes me so upset. And it's always made me upset with cable, but it makes me even more upset with the streamers and premium TV. This is what they're doing. Because they put themselves in such a rut, thinking that the next gold rush in TV was going to be streaming, they have now decided that they're going to make you pay for their service, and then they're going to make you have ads. And that shit burns me up.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I remember the first time I was looking at a WWE pay-per-view. It's called pay-per-view, meaning you pay not to see no damn commercials. Larry, why the hell I see a commercial in that bitch?
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want any ads in my paid services. Period. I don't like that.
No,
but they said that. I'm sorry. They said that Prime was doing that, and it's against the. It's a class action suit that's going about that, because if you pay for Prime, you're not supposed to get commercials. So basically, they went and basically moved the goalposts and changed the rules without letting us know.
Yeah.
They caught that quick. They rode that. So Moochie, I know Moochie's talking about the lawsuit, because what Prime did, they rolled that shit out and didn't tell nobody.
Yeah,
they didn't no email notification or nothing. And so a bunch of people woke up and wanted to know why they had ads. So the way they did it was you just was defaulted to the ad tier.
Exactly.
But you were still paying for the service. And then when they got hit with a class action, that's when they hurry up and send an email out to everybody else so that everybody couldn't join it.
In the ad-free tier, basically gave you for the price of another whole streaming service. I mean, because if you have Amazon Prime, everybody gets Prime Video included with that. But then when they put the ads in there, if you wanted to go to the ad-free tier, it was like another $8.95 a month or something like that. I was like, that's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
I was like, that's crazy.
Let me tell y'all what it's called. Like, I don't want to pick on one party or one group of people. I'm going to say elitists. Elitists always try to tell non-elitists, oh, don't be greedy. You shouldn't be greedy. This is fucking greed. That's all it is. This is fucking greed. Because a streaming service does not make extra money if their fan base loves the shows they're putting out. The only way they make money is if they get new subscribers and hold on to them. And when they saw that wasn't working, they said, we're going to have to get some MF and ads up in this piece. I'll tell you an example of a company that said they would never do ads, and now they're doing it. Netflix.
Yeah.
They're doing ads too.
Yeah. They have a low tier that's ads.
I did not know that.
They can kiss my black ass, because guess what? I'm pissed. Me and my family have one account for the last 5-6 years, and I moved into my home, and them mother truckers kicked me off. They're like, boo boo kitty.
Yep.
You don't recognize.
Yeah, but they kick you off, and then you gotta just give verified, and then you get back.
I had to get my own account. I had to grow up and be a big girl and get my own solo Netflix account. And then they hit me with the new tier system, and then I had to get the ads. And like, y'all, it's been a couple months, and it still trips me out because I've gone so many years without ads on Netflix. I mean, Netflix. It's very bizarre. It's really.
So Larry, I feel like, and y'all, I'm sorry to let this drag on, but we're trying to give you guys insight into what corporations are doing. That's all we're trying to do, and we're trying to help you make more informed decisions about what you can do with your wallet.
Larry, go ahead.
Larry, I feel like the only way they listen is if you do gray area stuff. Like, come on. Like, you can cut CEO and executive. Larry, there is no reason, and they're going to come for me for this. There is no reason that the CEO of these companies need to be making, I think one of them was making, I think I saw the list of all the streaming companies. The top CEOs of these companies, one of them was making $49 million a year, and the lowest one was $29 million a year, Larry.
That's pretty ridiculous. And I'll be honest with you. I think it's an obscene amount of money, but
Yes.
I don't really care how much as long as it's not affecting my bottom line. Like don't start pulling money out of my pocket.
It's affecting your bottom line. It's
Yes,
affecting your bottom line.
And that's why I don't like it. I'm like, if you're making all that kind of crazy money and you're pulling money out of my pocket so that you can have, you know, an extra $4 or $5 million in your pocket every year, I'm not down with that. But here's the thing at this point. The way that internet costs and TV costs for most people, if you're paying for internet and you're also paying for a bunch of streaming services, just look at cable TV. Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but we're at a place where it and I think cable is happy about this. They are. And I think on some level, because some cable companies own some of these streaming services, you know, they are happy that their pricing is drawing people back to cable. Because if you look at it, like I have for my area the fastest tier of internet service, which is what I want and need, because I don't want to sit there for 3 hours waiting for my videos to upload. So once you have that and you realize if I add cable, it's like an extra $5 or $10 a month. And then you start thinking, okay, well now they've given me a cable bundle for like an extra $10 a month that comes with HBO and Stars and Showtime and some of the other, you know, premium services. Well, now, like when I started doing the math, I was like, okay, well now I don't pay for Max, which is like $14.95 a month. And then I don't pay for Stars, which is another couple bucks a month, and I don't pay for Showtime, which it used to be how much ever when they had the app. Showtime, they've done some jankiness recently where they moved off their own Showtime app and they rolled it into to Paramount Plus, and then they put it on a separate tier. So even if you have Paramount Plus premium service, you have to go to a higher tier that includes Showtime. But if you have Showtime on cable, you can still go and watch it on demand through your cable provider. So these companies are doing all kinds of really shady stuff. And it's gotten to the point for most people now where it just makes more sense to probably have cable. Wow. You know?
I know for a fact that the state my brother is in, they got rid of CBS, and that's how he ended up getting Paramount Plus. So he ended up getting it that way because Pennsylvania. They I don't know, for some reason, I think it was DirecTV. They got rid of they had some kind of.
They had a thing in New York too, and it was a big deal because it happened. I think it was around sometime. I think it was NCAA. It was a couple years ago. It was a big thing where they hadn't worked out the contract, and I think it was Comcast or somebody, and it seemed like they were holding off negotiations with CBS so that they can try and get them for more money right before the NCAA tournament kicked in, and they were just like, screw it, then we'll just be out. No, and they I think at that point, I think the cable company was offering people like free service, like the free streaming version of it, because they were in this contract negotiation. They couldn't work it out, so it went offline, and it was so bad that the politicians that were, they immediately got involved. They were like, no, this is bogus, because they couldn't even watch their game. So they squashed it not long after it happened, but it was such a big deal at that time that people started to wake up and realize how bad all this streaming stuff is and all this stuff with cable. And it's not, it's so expensive. It's so expensive, all the streaming stuff now. Seriously, when you look at your price of your internet and then you look at all the services you have, consider going back to cable.
Damn.
Because it might save you money.
It might save money. Wow.
Yep. Because like you said, you're paying like $60-something for YouTube TV, and then you're paying probably another $50 or something for all your streaming services. That's $130. I don't know what you're paying for your internet, but if you're already at like $130 or something like that for TV services, and then you pay another $50 for internet, that's $180. Mm-hmm. I mean, at that point, you need to look at how much it's going to cost to get a bundle with cable.
Mm-hmm. So you can get, so this is my confusion though. If you get the cable, it's still separate from the streaming services.
Some of them, yeah, some of them are,
Some
but
of them,
yeah, but if you get your cable bundle, sometimes you can, sometimes they have specials where they'll
Okay.
give you like free, they'll bundle in free Netflix or free like
Stars,
Stars,
Showtime, HBO.
HBO Max, yeah. And
Okay.
so some of those services that you pay for on the streaming side, you won't have to pay for. Plus, you get all the other services like all the other cable channels that you may watch, like NBC, Vice, TNT, Bravo, all those other ones. You'll have access to those apps as well. So if you're trying to watch something on the go, you'll have access to that.
Right.
To me, it seems like it's better now to cable because you do have access with it in your home, and then they have their separate app too, where if you have a you can cast it to your TV.
Yeah.
Like if you have the app on your phone, you can go you're somewhere else, you can cast it to another TV.
Yeah.
Right.
So check out, I mean, I don't know who you have for your carriers, but if you guys are out there, if you have whoever your cell phone carrier is, check some of their perks, because some of them have it. I think like Verizon, I think offers like the Disney bundle either for free or at a discounted rate. Some of the cable companies actually have cell phone service now, and they offer some streaming service bundles. So there's a lot to be had out there. I say for free, but it's really, it's already sort of rolled into the price that you're paying for things already. So you just need to take advantage of the perks.
The good thing I will say with today's time in regards to this topic is, you know what? We have options versus back in the day, we were limited. Now we do have some wiggle room. So I like that. Yeah.
And if you just don't want to do any of that, you can go buy yourself a super box.
Yep.
I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, they'll, like a super box will basically give you everything for free forever.
Yeah. So Larry can talk to y'all about that offline. Or if you want to get further knowledge, all you got to do to go to his channel. He's talked about this. He's got tons of videos up on this stuff. So go check out my man's channel.
Well,
that's
I had to pull him down because YouTube was.
Well, you can do the legit ones.
Getting on him, right?
You can, Larry, you can do the legit ones. You can make a video right now, tomorrow, and just talk about how you save money, and I guarantee you'll get over 1,000 views within about 2 hours. Just because people need this information, the legit way.
Yeah.
We didn't say the gray area. We said legit. So
Right.
let us know, y'all. Let us know. We're going to move on to Moochie's story. But don't you forget to download the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, your story. This right here. Amari Hardwick is coming back as Ghost. But let's see how we got here. Take a look at what he had to say on the Pivot podcast a couple of months ago.
In your career, you still weren't making money where you were taking loans?
On Power, I never got that. And the end of it, never, right? Never.
Oh, 20 racks. Time now. Jamie St. Patrick.
How much do you think I made a week? An episode?
I would think 20. Angela Bassett makes $250 on 911. She's the highest paid.
She makes $250 a week?
So you had to at least $150.
No, then you got it right. First time I've ever disclosed it. But I was also the face of the network.
Right.
Angela's not the face of that network. She's one of the greatest actresses that ever graced the planet, but she's not the face of that network. It's metrics. When we go to renegotiate contracts as athletes, what do you, Fred and Channing, do? You go, coach, this many sacks, this many tackles, this much, this many. I got my yak yardage is this. Fred, we're not talking yak yardage. No, we are. Right. We are talking yak yardage, because there's that too. Right. I sustain after getting hit 5 times. I usually give you 3 more yards after being hit 5 times. 1, 5. I'm a football cat, Ryan. Metrics speak. You know why I like sports? Because sports is about X's and O's. There is no objective. No, you either make the play or you ride the bench.
Straight up. No subjectivity to it.
No. That's it. So it's that person who's an activist and a poet who is full of grace and mercy to absolutely be like, Stars, I'm still super humble. 50 and Courtney, I'll thank you forever. But all of them know he didn't really make no money.
And to add to that, Moochie, this is the last time we've seen this man alive. looking like Jamie Foxx in "I Fall for Your Love" or whatever that song was. And this is what the report I read said. This is coming to you from Rolling Out and The Revolt. Amari Hardwick indeed making a return to the Power series on Star, reprising his iconic role as James Ghost St. Patrick. The news has excited fans who have been eagerly awaiting his comeback since his character's dramatic exit at the end of the original series. According to reports, Hardwick's return is facilitated by an agreement that met his terms for the right storyline and compensation. The character's comeback is expected to add significant excitement and depth to the ongoing Power universe, which includes several successful spin-offs like Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Book 3 Raising Kanan. This return not only revitalizes the character's legacy, but also aligns with what fans' expectations and the narrative arc being explored in the current spin-offs would do. So the only question we got for you, Conspiracy Moochie, is since they cutting off Tariq abruptly, which tells me that they already got this deal really hammered out with Amari. The fact that they cutting this show off this year tells me that they already probably done filmed some stuff with Amari. Where is he going to get back into the series?
I think he's going to save his son. I've been saying this. People been doubting me. They told me to give up the ghost. Give up the ghost. Give up the ghost, Moochie. Give up the ghost. But now, last week when I did the other trailer breakdown, I said it again, and they still was telling me to give it up. Let it rest, Moochie. But now I want y'all to say that I was right.
now, Moochie, if a lie was told, they told it. If a lie was told,
they told it.
They told it right there. How do you feel about the reprising of Ghost in the Power universe, Monique Nicole? I know how you feel about Amari Hardwick.
Oh yes, that's my man. No, I have backed Moochie up on this. This is what solidified it for me. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. It was roughly probably 2 years ago. Amari did an interview, and he revealed that they came back to him and asked him to come back.
Several times.
Once he told me that, I was like, oh, it's gonna happen. They just had to negotiate the money because the money was really the deciding factor for him. So once I knew that the actor Omari Hardwick was open to returning and that Starz actually asked him to return, I said to myself, Monique, it may not happen this year, it may not happen next year, but it's only a matter of time before it happens. And so I'm not surprised by this news. What I am surprised is that they're revealing it. I think this takes away from the
element of surprise.
I think this takes away from the jaw-dropping moment that we would have if and when he does return. I am very shocked that they're leaking this out. I
disagree, but
I'm a little, I don't know. I just think
I disagree.
It's away from it.
They're gonna make you watch from the moment that drops at midnight. Watch how the numbers be, y'all, because everybody's gonna be wondering what episode he's going to come.
Yeah.
So now you got everybody on board, especially the people that kept saying that he was coming back. So the numbers is gonna go up.
And plus,
he's already saying, I am the face of this network. The face is back. 50 made it possible. They went to New Orleans. They got him he said, pay me my money. Remember that hashtag was going around? Pay him what he's worth. And now that he's getting it.
Plus, Momo, there has been, since he died, there has been so much ongoing talk about if he's coming back, if he's not. There's probably still people that's not going to believe it till it happens, and they'll say, because there have been false reports made up on less reputable places than Revolt, saying that he was going to come back. And of course, people was usually to whap that down and say that it's not real. And at the end of the day, I remember when he did an interview and they was talking about how much Mary J. Blige was getting paid. She was getting paid like $180 an episode, something stupid,
crazy, something
crazy like that. So he's got to be sitting back like, I'm the face of the franchise.
Well, yeah.
I started this thing, and y'all couldn't bring me in for a little. I would love to know what he was getting, but anyway, I'll kick it to you, Larry. What do you think about it?
I think it's a bad business move. I wouldn't do it if I was them. I mean, people. I mean, once you open that box and you start saying, okay, I don't know what he's getting paid, but it's not going to be long before it's out there. I'm sure the agents of these other artists already know. And if he's coming back and he's making 253, 400,000 an episode, it's only a matter of time before the other actors are like, you have to pay us more. We're not going to do this for 100, 150, 180, whatever they're getting paid now. If he's getting paid that much, you're going to have to pay us too. We all know this is a big franchise. It's a whole universe, as they say. And the universe collapses if you don't have the stars in it, So, I mean, you have the people over there and on the Book of Canaan side, they're going to have to pay, what's his name, the dude that plays Tommy, because really, to be honest with you, if you bring Ghost and you don't have Tommy, I mean, Ghost, one of the reasons why Ghost's character was so dynamic is because he had a polar opposite in Tommy. And if you don't have him in there, his character is it may still be entertaining, but it's not going to be quite what it was. And if I'm Tommy, I'm be like, you're paying dude that much, you're going to have to pay me too. So from a business side, I think I would have passed. I would have said, okay, I get it. Maybe we should have done you better, but I'm not bringing you back at those prices. Not doing it.
So Larry, I'll let Moochie go after I say this. I feel like they think Amari Hardwick is going to bring the Caitlin Collins effect. A high tide rises all boats. So I'm thinking that they're going to bank on people that left Power is going to come back. That's going to get them more subscribers, help pay his salary, and then therefore help pay other people's salary. What say you, Moochie?
I who's to say that Joe Sequoia is not getting a good salary?
Well, that's not what Larry's saying.
No, I'm asking though, because he does have his own series, and in the future, if they do that, you know how some of them all be on one accord, all of the cast members. Something like that might happen.
So here's the thing, Mooch, and I don't know what their contracts look like, but since Amari Hardwick was using sports as an analogy, there are contracts in sports that say I have to be like this. Say this particular athlete, I have to be the second or third highest paid player in the league, or I have to be within a certain percentage of the highest paid athlete in the league at any given time. So if somebody, I think Michael Jordan had a contract that was something like he had to be like within a certain percentage of the. So anytime somebody came out with some ridiculous high contract, his salary automatically went up. It was just the way his contract was built in. So if you have an escalation contract, clause in your contract that says I have to be the second highest paid actor on this show, and he comes back, maybe you're Mary J. Blige and you're making $400,000 an episode, and he comes back and he's making $600,000 an episode. Well, your salary has to go up.
Mary about to die, Larry. Her salary.
Yeah, that's what I think too. That's why they
going away.
That was my next problem, man. You got me because I was like, come on, I mean, she's making $400,000. Everybody's complaining about her. Don't get me wrong, I love Mary J. Blige, but everybody else is complaining about her acting. And this one has been trained, and he's trained in his craft. So they're going to pay him his worth now, and I think they realize the error in their ways.
But but like he was trying to say it's about X's and O's, and that's why he likes sports. But it's not like that in acting. It's not like that with there because yes, Mary J. Blige may not be a formally trained actor like he is, but she's still a big name and a big draw because of who she is. That's one reason why where producers go and they find these singers and rappers and other folks and bring them in, because they bring in a fan base with them. They bring that name in already. And so
it don't mean it's right. Don't mean it's right.
But that's what they do. Otherwise, you honestly think they couldn't find a better actor to play whatever role that Method Man is playing? It's not that Method Man is a bad actor. But they could have found somebody else to play what Method Man does, or what Redman's character is, or what Mary J. Blige. They brought those people in because they already have names and fan bases built in.
Okay.
Mo, what you got? You get last dibs on this. I agree with Moochie and Larry. This is one of those situations where you got
I agree with some of what Larry's saying also too. But I just try to show you like there's a other side to it.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all's perspectives. Honestly, how do I say this? I feel like bringing him back is a great move. I think it's a great move for the network. It's going to be lucrative. You know what I mean? I think they saw the error in their ways. They're going to pay him what he's worth. And I'm sorry, the numbers are going to be astronomical. Are you kidding me? Like, it's going to be successful. Now, my only fear is like, can they recreate greatness? You know what I mean? Is it going to be as good as the OG? That's where my concerns come in. But I think bringing him back is a great move. I mean, it's been how many years now? 2-3 years that he's been dead on the show, and we're still talking about it. We're still having debates about it. I just think, as much as we love the spinoffs, nothing, to me, as a day one fan of the franchise, nothing can replace Omari Hardwick's character goes. And I just think bringing him back would be excellent. Now they have to do it right. That's another topic as far as storyline, writing, plot. That's another topic for another day. But I think it's a good move though.
I want to say just one last thing, Lamont. I want to say I am happy that this man is in a current time in Hollywood where he was able to leave this show, go make movies, and make a good amount of money. So he was not locked in to a job that didn't pay him what he was worth. Because in the past with black actors, they were fantastic. They were making other people tons of money, but because they didn't have the options, they were stuck where they were. And because now we're in a place where there are more jobs, there's more places for him to go. He was able to leave and make those movies that he made and make a good living. So he had a place to go. He was able to negotiate from a position of power and say, hey, I'm worth more. Other people have seen my worth. And if you don't want to pay me, it's all good. I have other jobs to go to. And so I'm happy that we're in a place like that now, where it's not as great as it is if you're a white actor. White actors can go and do all kinds of stuff. You see these kids, that are on these CW shows, and they leave the show and they can go and work anywhere else. These kids that are on Ghost Power Book 2, maybe they'll have those options. I don't know. We'll have to see when the show ends and where they end up. But I'm glad,
Larry. Hopefully they'll have them options with me, as I'm over here brewing some stuff myself that I'm going to be giving some black folks some options. I hope.
There you go.
Damn it, I hope.
Hey, come on.
There you
go. So, but yeah, I'm with all of you guys' comments. I think it will be initially good for the network. And Mo, to your point, and to some of the fans' point, he said in his statement, the pay got to be good and the story. So I think you good on the story, because he wouldn't come back to some lackluster story.
He takes so much pride in the script, in the writing, in the details, and we would definitely need Courtney Kemp to come back for this.
I'll tell you what, if they get the story wrong, it's going to kill the franchise. If they bring him back and it doesn't work, it can kill the franchise.
I think if they do it right, and if it's executed right, and they show everything from how he disappeared when he gets, you know what? Let me keep this to myself, because I'm
just saying, if they bring him back and it doesn't hit.
I'm just going, Lamont know why. I'm gonna keep it to myself.
I agree.
I'm just saying, if they bring him back and it doesn't hit, people are going to say, "Oh, Powers jumped the shark," and it's going to kill everything. It will change the collective attitude about the shows, and it will kill the whole franchise. So they need to get it right.
I don't think
jump the shark, Larry. I think about.
I don't think he would come back. I don't think he would come back unless the script fit.
I don't think he would.
I don't think either. I think he read that script and then was like, sign on the dotted line.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little suspicious of this article.
Why? Who's it
I'm
from?
gonna do my own digging. I don't know. I just
It
Lamont?
was from Revolt and Rolling Out.
Look, that might be to take. Look, let's use
know.
this story to take the heat off of.
I just had
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't really care if he comes back or not, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought he was fine. I liked the original show. But out of all of the other powers, the one Power Book 2 Ghost is probably my favorite out of the other ones. Maybe it's the whole university setting, whatever. But I like that one the best. I don't really think they need him again. Maybe they do, but I don't think they need him. I like that show. It's filled with a bunch of pretty black people. It's entertaining. It does what it's supposed to do.
Tell you what, Larry, a cake don't need icing, but that icing sure enough help it.
Are they gonna bring Angela back too? Are they gonna have faked her death?
stop.
They're gonna say they faked her death and put her in witness protection, bring her back.
Nah, they can't do that with her.
They can do anything. It's TV.
It is. All right, Momo. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we to the last segment of the show. Again, download the podcast anywhere you get podcasts. Go check your boy out on the TikTok and go hit that showcase so you can get wonderful deals that cost you literally no money on great items such as these. Momo, I want to take my Black Entertainment News and More segment to not just be entertaining, but to also give people some concise information.
Yes.
And when I have panelists and I know what your channels are all about, I'm going to start trying to pick subjects based on things you're doing on your channel. One thing you're doing is love and relationship talk. So a subject that I felt like needs to be addressed because there's so many nuances to the subject is when someone gives you consent. I don't even want to say sex, but to physically touch them. Because it can be different mindsets behind the whole thing. And I've got a video from a girl who used to do a whole lot of sex talk on TV. She comes off as a nerd girl, blah, 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 which is why a lot of people wanted to F her. But she did give some good, decent advice. You get first dibs on the story after we go. Take a listen to this. And there's a lot of points in here. There are a few I'm just going to have y'all break down, but I can't have y'all go too long. You know your boy got to run. But this is a discussion that adults need to talk about, and definitely young adults. Take a look, take a listen to this.
It is so deliciously hot to me. I'm with a person I like and there's a little bit of sexual tension and then they lean over and they're like, can I kiss you? Why is it so sexy? Because they asked for consent if it was okay, which shows one, that they respect me, and two, that they've got some basic sexual communication down. Hot. But consent isn't just hot, it's also mandatory. Sexual contact without consent is assault or rape. Here's the thing, people often think of sexual coercion as something that's, violent or physically restraining. In reality, sexual coercion is often much more subtle. It happens between two people who know and maybe even trust each other. The perpetrator will use pressure, manipulation, drugs, alcohol, and force to initiate sexual contact without permission. Worse, in the real world, sexual coercion is often seen as acceptable. Like pushing someone over and over and over after they've said no, or throwing yourself on someone without warning because it's romantic. No, that shit's not romantic. It's just creepy and salty and rapey. So can you not do that? Are you enjoying yourself? How does that feel? Do you like that? Do you want me to keep going? How far do you want to go? You look uncomfortable. Are you okay? This is not how you ask for consent. Nope. Come on, I thought you liked me. I promise you'll like it. Just do it for me. What's the big deal? We've had sex before. I'm so horny right now. You liked it last weekend. Sex is never something that's owed to someone. Doesn't matter if you've been flirting, if you hooked up before, if they bought you dinner, not even if you're naked. Pushing someone until they finally give in is not consent. Sometimes people get drunk. You may have learned this about the world. When it comes to sex, a little bit of alcohol isn't a big deal. But if they're too drunk to drive, they're too drunk to give consent, period. Getting sexual with someone who's wasted, slurring their words, their body's limp, they can't communicate clearly, maybe they're throwing up, that's absolutely sexual assault. Situation number 3, you hold authority over them. You can't get consent from someone who you have power over. So I'm talking about things like teachers and doctors, therapists, coaches, priests, caregivers, famous actors, maybe even famous YouTubers with their fans. When one party depends on the other, when they trust them, rely on them, when they idolize them, it severely impairs their ability to consent. Why? Power dynamics like these come with strong underlying vulnerabilities, which can give the appearance of consensual sex when it's actually exploitative. You know, someone abusing their power.
All right, Mo. She gave a whole lot of what I'm going to call pamphlet knowledge.
Yes.
Like, yeah, that shit makes perfect sense coming from a book or a pamphlet. But we're talking everyday real life when some of those things are going to have some gray area. And as your wheels are spinning, I'm going to show you this. Show you this right here.
Oh my God.
Apparently, we think that consent was given in this situation, right?
Okay.
The only problem I have is I can't tell which one is the woman because them damn show some 4 feet of men it looked like at that bed. I can't tell which one is. I can't tell which is which. However, on any given moment, Momo,
don't discriminate against the big. I'm short, but I got big feet. Okay.
I mean, these look like Barney Rubbles, Momo. I mean, if your feet look like this, you might want to hold that until after sex. But but anyway, I'm getting off topic here. Let me get back to what I'm trying to say here. At any given point in this situation, Momo, they in the sheets. All you see is feet hanging out.
Yeah.
If somebody says no, y'all, the man can be inside you. If the person says no, you're supposed to get up and go. You're supposed to.
Yeah.
But here's what I want you to lead in with. In the very beginning of that girl video, she said that she thinks it's sexy when a person asks, "Can he kiss you?" Mo, I'm gonna tell you my experience in dating black women versus white women.
Please.
Most black women I encountered over my 44 years of life thought it, most of them, not all, they thought it was, they liked me aggressive. They didn't want me to ask. They wanted me to assume through their flirting, through their behaviors of complimenting, through their behaviors of doing things to insinuate when to make that moment to kiss. Because for some of them, they got off on me looking like I'm a little nervous on should I do it or should I not do it.
Yeah.
So having said that, pick any area you want to and talk about how do you know if consent is given? Because
this is a very loaded,
it's very loaded.
This is very loaded. And this is something I really would have to like take a moment to write my thoughts down because there's so many bullet points and we don't have that time today. Right. But as a woman, I will tell you, I do sympathize with some men because it what the hell? Oh, okay. It's not very
Those are the 2 damn feet.
Not when I'm talking, please.
Those are the 2 damn feet.
Those were the feet. Yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry. I done messed up the feng shui.
Just get my thought. So as a woman, I can sometimes sympathize with the men when it comes to this because I'm so glad, Lamont, you gave the example that you did. I really am glad you said that. You experienced that some women did like when you said, "Yo, can I kiss you?" Of course, you can say it, sexy and play it. Hey, can I kiss you? Yeah, okay, baby. And then some women was like, "Don't ask, just do." So it's like you get mixed signals, right? And that can be confusing for men. I don't have an answer for it. I just have to flesh it out. I'm just talking. I don't have a really an answer for all of this. But I will speak to the topic of consent. I do think as parents, especially new age parents, it is very, very important that we speak to our sons and daughters, not just sons and daughters, about consent and what that looks like. I do think when the boys are younger, if I had a son, I would really advise him. I don't care if you look lame. I would tell him you need to ask the chick before you proceed. You need to proceed with caution and ask. I don't care if she says, oh, no, don't ask, because times have changed and things have gotten worse. And it's just, we don't need those problems, especially if never mind, let me not get messy. Especially if she's an other, we don't need those problems around here. So you better ask them questions and get your consent. She said, I'm sorry, Lamont, that was a loaded video. She said a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to remember everything that she touched on. I just think
I'm gonna give you one on the end, then I'll move it to Larry. I'm gonna give you one on the end. That's kind of like it's touchy, and there are some places that have a no fraternization policy.
And I will say to the women, she said a lot of truth in her video, and this is where you kind of have to decipher a man's character. There are men that try to take advantage. There are men who try to flex their authority over you. There are men who try to put you in compromising situations. I've been in those situations, and I will tell you, as a woman, it feels like, come on, as a woman, when you are equally wanting to participate in something and you feel comfortable, and you're as a woman, you're giving the consent versus when you feel uncomfortable. Those are two very distinct feelings.
Right.
And
now, Mo, Larry and Moochie, hang tight. I'm giving Mo a little more time because this was her segment, because this is what she do on her channel. Now, Mo, Lacey Green spoke more. I felt like she spoke more from a woman's perspective. Now, granted, consent goes both ways.
Yeah,
but this is the part that sometimes go underspoken for what women do on their end. You can't be fucking flirt teasing, and then when the guy try you, all of a sudden it's a problem. Now, if he try you and you say no, and he don't back up, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't be hot and heavy flirting with your words, hot and heavy flirting with him, and then try to say it came out of left field if you've been letting him rub on your butt, rub on your waist, and then all of a sudden he decide he tried to kiss you. Oh no, you effing pig. You can't do that shit either.
This is when I feel like women have to take a little bit of responsibility.
Right. And Mo, to add to that point, because I've been in this situation where women have done it to me as the boss of a place where I was literally like the only man.
Yeah.
Don't be. So some women will try to do the flirt tease to do two things: advance their career, and maybe also feel like they can ingratiate themselves to the person in power, because they know that there might be some energy there or something like that, and that's something else you're not supposed to do either. But these are all conversations we've got to talk to our young people about, because it happens.
And I listen, I might ruffle some feathers, and it's okay. To the young women out there, you have to be, because I wish someone told me this. You have to be.
Damn, that's some good strawberry down there, Moochie. Nicole, she know you about to go in. That chick put
eating her fruit again, Moochie. She just love her fruit, y'all. What was I gonna say? Especially when you're a younger woman. And look, this is not a fair world. We know double standards exist.
Yeah, definitely.
I preach consent. I don't care if you are butt naked. If you have a change of heart, and if you say, I don't want to do this, he needs to respect it. I know, fellas, I know it's hard. You was about to, but you gotta say no. But
yeah, that's real. That is real.
Ladies, especially the young ones, this is not a fair world. You have to be mindful and try not to put yourself in compromising situations as well.
Right.
I know it sounds harsh, and I'm not blaming victims. Please hear me from my heart. I'm not victim blaming. I'm not any of that. I'm just letting y'all know from experience, when I look back at my younger years, God has truly protected me, because when I look back at my young and dumb days, I put myself in some very compromising situations that could have actually ended very terrible for me. I will tell you that now.
Okay.
And as I reflected and looked back, I'm like, oh my God, that could have really went bad, actually. Like you have those moments. So it takes both. And this is why I don't want it to be a man versus woman. I really think it's important to preach this to both the young boys and the young girls. And it's, again, this is very convoluted. This is multi-layered. We can definitely have this conversation another time, maybe even on my channel. Because there's a lot. There's a lot to flesh out. There's a lot to flesh out.
See how I throw y'all alley-oops? I gave Larry a story, gave you a story, gave Moochie a story. I throw y'all these alley-oops. So Larry, I'm gonna come to you, but I'm gonna say something to Mo's point. I 100% agree with you, Mo. Women in particular, well, men and women, but women, you can't put yourself in a compromising position by flirt teasing, and then when someone calls you on it, they try to do something. That's just like someone trying to tell me, hey, Mont, pigs can fly. No, the hell they can't. Just because you took a pig on a Southwest airline, then dropped his ass out the window, that's not flying. Nigga, that's not flying. So, Larry, floor is yours. Anywhere you want to talk about on consent and where it went, let us know how you feel, my brother.
Yeah, I think if anything, right now, I think men and boys need to learn about consent, and as far as them giving it and what it means for men and to give consent, because I think we are at a time and space in our country where women are more and more in power and in positions of power, and men have always been taught that, yeah, you take sex whenever you can get it. And if she wanted to smash and you didn't, what do you some sort of F word? Not saying, which the bad, the gay F word. What do you gay or what do you?
YouTube, he was trying to say flame broil like you get at Burger King.
Right. I'm like, so that's what happens. It's like if you don't, then people think you're less of a man. Oh, he must be gay. He must be this. He didn't want to do it. And men are often sexually harassed. That's why you look now and you see these stories of these women out there that are teachers, bosses, all kinds of stuff that are basically sexually harassing men. People don't talk about all the times when men and women are having sex and the man is telling the woman, no, stop, get off me. I don't want to come inside of you. And they don't want to stop, because they want you to, for whatever reason. They don't get off you, or they lock your legs around you and keep you there. That if a woman had told a man to do that, to get off, and he didn't, that would be rape. It is rape in the reverse. It is still rape when a woman does it. We just had a whole show with Bridgerton where this young woman raped her husband because she wanted to get pregnant. She would not get off of him. She sent him back into a stuttering stupor of his childhood after that event. And but they didn't make that show about the horrible sexual assault that it was. No, they made that show as if it was some romantic thing that was all about love. It wasn't about love. It was a horrible violent show about this man being raped.
Tell us why you mad, Larry.
I remember you talked about that when that first came out. That made me really second thinking.
But the point is that we want to put I see your lips all turned sideways, Momo. But if we're going to have these standards for men towards women, we also have to have those standards for women towards men, because there are a lot of women in positions of power nowadays, and they can and they do take advantage of young, not just young men, but men in general. They take advantage in the same way. Why? Because people are creatures, and we use the same power dynamics regardless of you're male or female. If you are in power and you have power over someone, you will use that power. That is why power is there.
Listen, Larry, I hear you, and
how long men been doing that?
Hold on, I'm all about fairness and equality, but this is a topic where I don't think I don't think we need men to be like, oh, we get raped too. I just don't think it's even
because it's not legitimate rape. That's what you're saying. So you that is so bad. That's just basically saying like men, sexual assault towards men is not legitimate.
Hold on, I'm not saying that, but I just feel like doing what you just did, I hear you, but it can also feel so like hurtful and insensitive, because it's just like, can y'all just not support like us in our struggle? Like, we're not gonna sit here and pretend like the numbers of women have been being assaulted and raped since the beginning of time. Like, we're not gonna sit here and like compare statistics of men who are raped versus like, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I just don't think that was the right time to be like,
oh, but if we talking about it, you should talk about both, I believe.
Let me give you.
You got to talk about both.
Let me
tell you.
Hold on. Let me
get. It don't happen to men too, Monique.
Yeah, but
let me get.
Hold on. Let's be real.
All of y'all, hold on.
Men, or are we talking about children? Children and molestation is totally different.
We are talking about males. We are talking about human beings that own penises. That's who we're talking about. Children or men. That's what we were talking about. And let me give you a quick example. When I was younger and I used to work out a lot and was physically fit and was muscular, I can't even name how many times I've gone to bars, to clubs, to some event where women didn't think anything about smacking my ass as I walked by. Or how many times, when I was all swole up, women would walk up to me and put both their hands on my chest and be like, "Oh my goodness," And could you imagine if I just walked up to you and just put my hands on your breast and was like, "Woo, look at that"?
I think I think it's inappropriate. 100,000%. I don't think.
No, because what happens is that when men express that, we are immediately trivialized and minimized and say, "Oh, that's nothing. That you guys wanted that. Oh, it's okay. It was just some girl being flirtatious."
I think that is an important topic that we need to have, because you're speaking to even a bigger issue. That's why so many men who were assaulted by older women, they struggled because they internally they knew it was wrong, but society painted it like, oh, an older woman hit on you. Oh, that's amazing. It's like, I get it. That what you're speaking to, there is validity and truth to that. 100,000%. Please don't confuse what I'm saying, but
somebody brought up a good point where they talked about Abbott Elementary. That whole show, there's a whole storyline about that black man being sexually harassed. Not just he's being sexually harassed by a workplace, by a coworker, and by his boss. And instead of making it to be the serious topic that it is, they have made it a point of comedy. They have just made it something to laugh at. Now, could you imagine if it was in reverse? If the dude that's being sexually harassed was the principal, and he was harassing the other woman, saying, "Oh my God, look at your big old titties and look at your ass," and blah blah blah, and was constantly coming at her like that. Everything that she said towards him was some sort of sexual innuendo. There would be no comedy in that. But they think that it's okay because it's a woman doing it to a man. And the point is, you cannot have it both ways. If you want to have your cake and eat it too, then you don't get to complain when that shit happens to you. You don't get to have it both ways. So if you want the change, and you live the change.
So Mo, I'm gonna kick it.
Sometimes when it comes to abuse and stuff, I just think sometimes women just want like men to support us a little bit more, like without being like, oh, take the sexual part out. I even physical abuse, right? As far as just men putting hands on women. Of course, we know women put hands on their man, and I don't support that. If you know me personally, I tell my girlfriends, you don't hit I don't support that. I don't support violence in any way. But I just think instead of, I'm not saying I'm not saying all men, I'm speaking to a certain percentage of men. I think instead of being like, oh, well, y'all do it to us too, instead of having that combativeness. I think sometimes women just want to feel a level of support and be seen and be felt, like, because again, statistically.
And you don't think men want to be physically and anatomically respected? They don't think they want to feel the same level of respect? You don't think that I want to be able to go into a place and feel safe and respected?
Yeah, but
to express that as a man makes me weak. And women don't even, like right now, you're not even taking it seriously. With me bringing it up immediately puts you in a defensive mode and saying that's my
debate. Be real. We're not going to compare.
I muted both of y'all because I need both of y'all not to forget this is my damn show. And I don't like to pull out this fucking mute button. But y'all have got to a point where you're not even letting a second of dry air hit so that we can keep the show rolling. We've been on this subject 30 minutes. Moochie ain't said shit, but sit down there and eat her damn strawberries that ain't even cut properly. Okay? Mo, the subject matter here is consent. Either way, I get historically.
You guys just don't like to support women. And I'm done.
What?
I'm a mute that because that's my end is not true. That's not true.
I disagree with her too.
Not Lamont. It's not Lamont. But y'all, again, it's just like women.
Mo, I'm not done with my statement. When situations get this tense and heated, there's a reason why we have a moderator. And I can't have y'all talking over me when we're trying to have a discussion where we can give people insight that they can take and apply to their own life and it help them. And so this subject matter was proper consent. It wasn't proper consent for a woman. It wasn't proper consent for a man. It was consent for both. Granted, Mo, historically, it has been the woman that has been treated a certain way, been abused, been raped, and all that. Larry's point is that, yes, that's the historical data, but we are moving in a direction where there are more women in charge doing the same shit that men used to do, and it goes unheard. That's all. But at the end of the day, the grander point that we're trying to stay focused on is what is consent for, what does consent look like to do anything physical from man or woman? Moochie, stop eating your strawberries and jump on in this conversation. The boy gotta go.
I was just letting them talk. I was enjoying the conversation. You know, it is what it is. But I have wrote down what I wanted to, like, what since y'all was talking. I feel like when a conversation needs to be had with your teenage person, young adult, before they even go into the dating world, about consent and all of that, because people are manipulated on both ends. The young men are manipulated sometimes by older women, as well as the other way around. And no means no. I feel like you shouldn't even put yourself in that position where you might be in a compromising position. That means we used to always say this: when you go out with your friends, if y'all came together, y'all leaving together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different scenarios, and you really have to be careful now, because people do not have good intentions. And a lot of times, if you feel like you feel like something is going to be wrong, or you're unsure, you try not to put yourself in those positions.
That's all you got to say?
It happens to younger men, it happens to women, and I feel like when it happens to men, they make men try to feel like this is a badge of honor when they're taken advantage of. And it shouldn't be that way. If they're taking advantage by an older woman, or even if she took it from me, they'll make that as a badge of honor, like, oh, you're irresistible, or something like that. So I feel like both parties should be careful, especially these young dudes, because if then things don't go the way the girl wants it, then they can do all sorts of stuff. Now, with all of these questions you asking, permission for this and permission for that, sometimes you don't even know if sometimes you're in a moment and things just happen, and you look at that person, sparks is flying, and you have that moment where you kiss, where it's not even, you don't even know what, it just happens. But if you feel unsure about it like that, then I understand if you're asking that. But if you see how a date is going, certain, how can I say it without, if you feel like the date is going right, and you feel like that's going to like, if it's going to go too far, I don't think you should put yourself in a predicament where you're going to be alone with the person, especially if you're just meeting them. It should be done in a public place. You should take your car when you go there. You don't, I wouldn't even have it's things, especially when you first meet a person. I wouldn't even want them to know where I live when I first meet them. I mean, that's how I used to date.
That's smart, Moochie.
Meeting them in a public place, and then by maybe a couple of more dates, they know where your crib is.
Now, see, that's what responsible people do, Moochie. But the problem is people who are new to dating, some of this they don't know. And that's
why I said in the beginning, when a person, this is why people stop being parents right now. Everybody's letting the internet raise them. People don't talk to their children. People don't discipline their children. They're letting the internet raise them. But I talk to my son.
You go back to what Larry was saying. You go back to what Larry said at the very beginning of this video. ChatGPT is going to be educating the kids. Basically,
this is like the second time he said that too since we've been talking on certain subjects. And I agree.
But Moochie is saying the same thing I said earlier, which was, I said I sympathize with certain men in this situation. And I said, women, especially the young girls, we have to take responsibility. We have to be smart. Unfortunately, again, this world is unfair and it's filled with double standards. And as a woman, unfortunately, you cannot move as freely as men do. So to Moochie's point, and what I said earlier, no, don't have him pick you up from your address the first date. Yeah, don't go back to your house, to his house the first. I know it sucks. Yes, I know we're living in a new world and sexual liberation, and that's what it gets. I mean, if you want to smash, but at the same time, if you don't want to smash, maybe don't go back to his crib the first night. And like, you see what I'm saying? But I'm going to offend somebody because everybody gets offended now. The feminists will come out and say, oh, sexual liberation, I should be able to, you know what I'm saying? So it becomes, it gets, you get what I'm saying? It's a very.
So this is kind of on the lines of what you're saying, Momo. This is kind of on the line, but not. Candy Love is saying you can try to prevent it. Sadly, it doesn't stop it. That's true. We all have to be accountable for our actions.
Absolutely.
Part of those actions, Candy, is doing the very best you can to put yourself in a predicament to win. So if you don't want the engine in your car to break down, you change the damn oil. You do the maintenance so that the car runs as long as the engine can run. So even when you do everything right, bad situations happen. But all you can do is control your actions. I work out to be as fit as I can. That's not to say I'm gonna walk outside and my daughter's school bus hit me and shit. Okay, all you can do is control it. Larry, you get a word, then Mo, you get the last word because this is your segment.
So this goes back to what I was originally saying, is that we need to teach young men what it means to give their consent. We've always talked about women and young girls giving consent. We've been teaching that to women for the beginning of time, it seems like. But what we haven't done is taught young men what it means to them, or what it means for them to give their consent. We have not always lived in a world and in a country where women were in positions of power. And now that they are, and now that we have women who are at times these sexual aggressors, women who are in a place in time where they feel it's okay to have sex freely and to be the ones that initiate, we need to teach our young men what it means to actually give their consent. Because sometimes a man may not want to do something, but he feels like as a man, he's not supposed to say no when a woman initiates and wants to have sex, that somehow it makes him lesser of a man. And we need to talk to our young man to say, you can say no. You don't have to smash just because she wants to. And also, as there's more women in power and jobs and school and, and as celebrities, whatever. I mean, you hear all these stories about people, so these celebrities talking about, oh yeah, I brought this dude up there and had him eat my coochie and then I kicked him out. We need to teach people what it means, our young men, what it means to actually give their consent as well. We know that we've been teaching women that, but we need to teach our young men that as well, because there are a lot of men out there being sexually assaulted. And when you take the same standard of sexual assault that women have and you place those same situations and behaviors on men, the numbers are astronomical, and a lot of men don't recognize that what the traumatic experience that they went through was an actual sexual assault.
Exactly.
All right. So Mo, I'm gonna let you in, but Moochie want to say one thing real quick, and then we'll finish with Momo.
Okay, one last thing. I believe the dating scene has become very transactional. It's very transactional now, as far as girls getting flown out.
Yeah.
Guys asking girls asking for cash apps for this and that, for hair, skin, hair, nails, and all of that other stuff. It's become very transactional. That's why we're having all of these problems. People done took feelings out of it and made it a pay me business more. The dating scene and relationships have become transactional and on a borderline of prostitution.
Well, I was gonna say that's not dating, that's hoeing.
Exactly. That's why I said what I said.
Me and Larry have always said we need to just go ahead and make prostitution legal. You cut down on all that shit. That's a joke, y'all. But that's a joke with some truth in it. Momo, last word goes to you, and then your boy got to get up out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go back with what I said originally is I think consent is important on both ends. We need to talk to our young boys and our young girls about consent. Again, it does get tricky. It can be very tricky. I don't have the answer for those tricky situations. You know what I mean? I just say, try to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like to your example, if the girl says, oh no, I want you to be aggressive. Fellas, just to protect yourself, still ask. Ladies, try to be clear and concise on your intentions and just try to protect yourself as well. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't, rethink things. Be smart in how you move.
Can I say one last thing, Lamont?
How long is it going to take?
It'll be real quick, but this is just for the brothers. This is something my brother told me back in the day. He said, if you're ever with a woman and she starts the whole, no, I don't want to, just immediately stop and just say, no, okay, I'm done. Because oftentimes women would say, oh no, and they try and play the little game. Immediately stop, get dressed, get up, be done, say, I'm going to go home or take them home. And when they start saying, oh no, we don't have to go, you don't have to go, just say, no, it's better if I leave. He said, because the next time that you go over there, it's not going to be any of this, oh, let's stop, oh, none of this. If they want to get it in, it's getting in, and that's it. You don't have to worry about any of those games ever again. And I've tried it, and it does work. It's pretty much, if they want you, they want you, and the last thing they want you doing is leaving. So sometimes you just have to go ahead and just get up and go and wait for the next time.
Well, I could pontificate on this subject forever because I have had a rich dating life. Okay, let me tell you something. When your boy got out there, boy, I learned me some hard lessons, good and bad. And I could literally, for everything we talked about, I definitely have stories for it. But because I got to get ready to go, we'll save those. But I promise you guys, we'll keep the heat going. And when we have our full panel, we'll bring more of these subjects because we want y'all to get them life gains. We want y'all to be safe. We want y'all to be taken care of, and we want you guys to be in the greatest position to win. So show us some support by liking our videos, liking this subject matter we talk about, because as much as we like entertainment is a very small part of people's lives. Living everyday life is life in it. And that's what we're talking about up here, trying to give you something that can help you. But we can't grow unless you like our videos, share our videos, and tell people to come check us out.
And let them know ChatGPT is free now, and Black people go get on with that AI.
Go get it, y'all. ChatGPT is free, version 4.0 or 4.0, and it is definitely something that can help it can help every area of your life, professional, personal, however. Just use it. Get educated. Let's do it. That's Larry. That's the Hammer. And that's Monique. I'm Lamont. And we out till tomorrow. Peace.